Yeah, first of all, I just want to say thanks to Coach Swinney for having the faith in me to give me this great opportunity. Thanks to President Clements and Graham and the rest of Clemson University, and tremendous opportunity. And you guys far away.
What was it like did he call you? Did he text you? Did he tell you, when he said you're my guy?
Yeah, he was actually when everything went down. He was in Las Vegas at the Raiders game, and whenever Brent accepted the job, he called me up right away and let me know the plan, and started rolling from there.
Did you do a little run around the house? Or how did you react when you hung the phone up?
Yeah, we were really, really excited, and man, unbelievable opportunity, and we're fired up.
Wes, did you have a pretty good idea of, like, in recent years that this was going to be the arrangement if and when Brent decided to leave?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had a great opportunity, and me and Brent have worked great over the years, 7 years together, and have tremendous respect for him, and just came in every day with the mindset that I'm going to learn as much ball as I can from him, and there's so many great examples over the years where it was like we were thinking the same thing at the exact same time, but yeah.
So many Clemson fans know Coach Venables so well. He's just one of those figures that people know. What can you tell them about you? Because maybe they don't know you as well.
Yeah, I'm a football junkie. I love the game. From my very first opportunity at Mississippi State, I've completely immersed myself into trying to learn big picture, learn schemes, learn techniques and fundamentals, and just love being on the field with the players. That's why I got into this profession, to build great men of character through the game of football, and that's the fun part, being around the guys in the locker room every day to me. Yeah, growing up, always knew I wanted to coach college football or work in the NFL. Never knew kind of how that would unfold. Had an opportunity growing up to go to Mississippi State. Started as a baseball manager for Ron Polk, legendary baseball coach there, and just had the opportunity to get my foot in the door with football as a student assistant. And Sylvester Croom was the head coach there, and Woody McCorvey was the offensive coordinator. Ellis Johnson was our defensive coordinator. Just an opportunity to get my foot in the door and just, put my nose down, stay quiet, and just worked hard every day.
Well, I like the nickname Weslichick.
So, hey, that started way back in the day at Mississippi State. Hopefully one day, maybe I could be mentioned in the same sentence as Bill Belichick. He's the best of all time. I have so much respect for what he's done over the years, 8 Super Bowls, countless other opportunities and accomplishments. So it's a fun name to be thrown around. Hopefully one day I live up to that.
Wes, there were so many parts of Brent that kind of made him kind of a force of nature, so many different elements. What do you think is the hardest part to replace? Which element do you think, just walking his
Off the top of my head, nothing really like stands out. Every day I'm just going to come in and be myself, from an intensity standpoint and just being a rah-rah guy. That's probably not me, but I'm going to get fired up at times. I am very passionate in my own way and that sort of deal. So, but just, I have to come in and be myself and do things how I do them.
Wesley, one of the things that people talk about you being the right-hand man to Brent, what was your role in terms of every week preparing and helping this team?
Yeah, just scouting report-wise, studying opponents, studying tendencies, anything we could gain from an advantage, and then obviously just schematically, confirming or, discussing ideas and that sort of thing. Just kind of being the leader of the, opponent study and studying personnel, studying tendencies, that sort of deal, and just, I knew his expectations. He lined out and just made sure everybody else did their job, and we all collaborated together, came up with a game plan every week.
Do you feel like he was grooming you along the way to kind of show you, mentor you a little bit on how to do game day type stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I think all great coaches are coaches of players and fellow coaches around them, and definitely, we would talk, what he's thinking in this situation, his thoughts about coverages, pressures, that sort of deal, personnel, how to take, matchups and that sort of deal. So just total education of the game, just being in that room every day.
Just in terms of your new role with these goal practices, what are your realistic goals to learn and accomplish in this time?
Yeah, our goals are the same standard of defense that Coach Swinney, set forth day one to play defense at a high level. Our defense isn't based off of one person. Clemson's defense has always been about players, and our expectations is to continue to play great defense and even try to ramp it up a notch.
I mean, in terms of just doing the day to day and game day, being DC and stuff like that. What do you want to learn?
Yeah, just taking full control, and just being the guy and running all the situational football and obviously calling the game and just getting in the flow of game and in the flow of the game and just figuring out who I am as a play caller and running things from the sideline.
Obviously, Christmas Day is a week from today, but will Christmas Day be the 29th for you? And what do you think you'll be feeling pre-game?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be to go back to your point about Christmas Day is going to be the 22nd before we go down to Orlando. So we're not going to haul all our toys down for the girls and whatnot. But yeah, 29th is going to be, my birthday's on the 28th. So I'll turn 37 and then game day on the 29th. So it's going to be an exciting adventure for sure.
You mentioned play calling. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, John.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned play calling, something you haven't done before. I mean, you kind of knew this might be coming at some point. How have you prepared yourself?
I prepared every day as if I'm the play caller. I would run through games and I would, in my mind, play the game out. I'm going to call this in this situation. That wouldn't be a great call. So every day for the last 10, 12 years that I've been in this profession, I've always thought big picture, so preparing myself for this moment. So it's been years and years of, time spent studying the game.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have something to prove at all? I mean, just because people may not know you've never been a position coach, never done any of that before.
I mean, my expectations for myself are good enough. I don't have to prove anything to anybody else. I have really high expectations for myself, and that's all that I care about.
Along with play calling, Dabo would tell us that you would recognize play, draw it up. Like, what does that look like in game? How quickly do you recognize concepts and then pass it along?
Yeah, I mean, we use that for in series adjustments and that sort of deal, but all of that comes through weekly preparation and time spent in the film room. You can tell stuff pre-snap, this, and this are coming. So just, all the preparation element.
Do you do a week ahead, like scouting wise?
Yeah, for the most part, our support staff, they'll work a week or two in advance, so to get everything ready for say coming in on Sunday, we'll have all this research done and present it to the staff.
We heard that you've had chances to leave and go other places multiple times. Did you have a sense that at some point in time that this was going to be the route you were going to be able to go and you were going to be able to achieve what you wanted to here?
Yeah, I'm a bloom where I'm planted guy. I'm in no rush to leave a place like Clemson. The people here are unbelievable. It's more about the people than the job to me, and I love this place. I love Coach Swinney. I love everybody in this building. Have great respect for everybody, great respect for the university. So I'm a bloom where I'm planted guy. So we've set our roots here and plan to be here for the long haul, and just whatever comes.
We're going to see a lot of similarities to what Brent did, or you're going to put your staff on some things. And I guess what are going to be some of the similarities and some of the differences?
Yeah, philosophically, we're both very aggressive. I want to take the fight to the offense and be very aggressive play calling wise. And so philosophically, we're very similar. Obviously, I'll put my stamp on it. Some great concepts that I've learned from other places I've been, and continue to grow our scheme and trying to stay at the forefront of college football.
So what were some of the biggest takeaways you maybe learned from your time under Bruce Arians and kind of lead you up into that point now?
Yeah, BA is one of the best coaches I've ever been around. Just an unbelievable guy, very genuine, down to earth, very well liked and respected by players in that locker room. Just being myself. Don't try to be anybody else. Just be myself. He's, when he would always come into the building, he spoke to everyone, made everyone feel welcome. Genuinely cared about everybody. So that's probably the biggest thing that I took away from my time with him.
So a lot of blitzes.
Yeah, definitely. No risk it, no biscuit, right? That's what his favorite saying.
Yeah, exactly. From a recruiting standpoint, that's something that you've been kind of behind the scenes. Maybe you haven't done as much of that. How comfortable are you with going to recruits' home and saying, "Hey, this is why you need to come to Clemson"?
Yeah, very, very comfortable with that. Obviously, I haven't spent much time out on the road, but just being able to paint a vision for this is what it's going to look like. And recruiting is just about relationships. At the end of the day, building that relationship, building the credibility and rapport with the players, and that sort of deal. So, you do that every day, and recruiting takes time, a lot of investment, just nobody's going to outwork me kind of mentality that I have. So just continuing to develop those relationships for any young people.
So you're excited, you're embracing it.
Yeah, definitely. So this is a great opportunity. Everybody works for these opportunities, and they come at different times. So you just prepare for these opportunities, and when it's your time, next man up.
I guess what were your players' reactions when they heard the news? Did they kind of feel like it was coming already beforehand?
They were fired up and excited. So that's the thing that means the most to me is the players in this locker room. All of them are all in, committed. We haven't lost anybody since that news, so that's really been a special deal for me.
I guess how did Coach Swinney tell the players? I think he said that it might have been kind of a special moment where he kind of told them. What do you remember from when you were introduced?
Yeah, they were fired up. So
I guess did he just say Wes is the guy? Like what did he say? And what do you remember from the players?
Yeah, I mean I'm not going to elaborate on team meetings and stuff like that. That goes to Coach Swinney. So, but they're excited and ready for this opportunity.
Wes, when you heard that Brent got the job, like that moment, were you thinking to yourself, probably the guy? Like, what was going through your mind? Or were you thinking, not sure? Like, I'm just curious.
Yeah, I was just waiting on the phone call.
So you thought it was.
I was good either way. So, I was just waiting to talk to both of them to see how things unfolded.
Do you have a photographic memory for sure? Or
that's what they say. So,
do you?
I don't know if I've been clinically diagnosed with that, but so
Argument sign stealing.
So that's not my job description.
Yeah. But that's like one of the things that all the people that work with you say, that you just have the ability to see pretty much all 11 or all 22 what they've done and diagram it a second later. When did you notice that you had that gift? How'd you figure that out?
I guess probably kind of in 2009 when I came here, the way that we kind of structured things defensively and just, kind of some of the stuff that I did on game days then just kind of prepared me for that.
Wes, you were able to sign first Wade Woodaz. I guess you can talk about him as sign. I mean, what can you just say about what he brings to the line about him and how excited you are to get him here?
Oh, I'm fired up about Wade. I mean, he's definitely a Clemson kid. He's exactly what we want from a program standpoint. Just an unbelievable family, hard worker, smart, tough, savvy, physical, intelligent, plays fast and violent. He's long, he's going to fit right in with the linebacker group. All those kids are great kids and unselfish and just an overall team guy. So we're fired up to have him.
Coach, obviously coached defensive backs before. How have you prepared to coach linebackers? What will that be like for you kind of adding that position?
Well, I've been around linebackers since I started day one, probably more so than I have defensive backs. So just I've always learned, linebackers is the glue to the defense. So the front end ties in with the back end. And so just, day one, when I got my foot in the door in football, I was with the linebackers with Ellis Johnson, Kevin Steele, Carl Torbush, obviously QB, being linebackers coach. I've worked with all those guys. Had the opportunity to work in the secondary as well, Arizona, briefly, and so just understanding how all the run fits and the coverages all tie in together. I think linebackers and safeties, there's a lot of carryover.
And those are all good linebacker coaches. And then you added Ted Roof to it this year.
Yeah.
Maybe what's one big thing that you've taken from some of those guys? You're like, man, this is really something that I've latched on to.
It's about the players at the end of the day. You can be the greatest coach in the world, but if you don't have players that can go out there and execute at a high level and play fast and violent, and schemes and techniques are worthless.
Coach, speaking of that, we've heard for a long time that Skalski is like a coach on the field. How much is having a guy like him on the field for this bowl game, especially with this transition and the communication, help with that?
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Like, Skalski and I have a great relationship, a lot of respect for each other, and just being able to gauge, what we're doing schematically and, the feeling of the building, that sort of deal. He's been invaluable to the process for sure.
How important has it been to have so many of these guys out here? A lot of opt-outs in college football, but you've got a pretty full roster to work with.
Yeah, it definitely so, and that's a testament to our program that Coach Swinney's built. The players that we want. That I know we use all in all the time, but honestly, these guys are complete program guys, completely committed. So that's just a testament to the players that we brought into our program and the standard that's been set forth by Coach Swinney.
I'm sorry if you've been asked about this before, but obviously at Tennessee State you were a baseball guy.
Yeah.
What's kind of your background there, and then why ultimately did you decide to switch to football?
Yeah, I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I knew I wanted to be involved collegiately or at the professional level in football. And that was just the opportunity that I had to get my foot in the door into college athletics. And then once I started with baseball, had the opportunity to transition over into football. And so here we are now.
It's not, managers obviously for a lot of kids aren't necessarily considered glamorous. I guess what did those experiences, in that role teach you for right now?
Yeah, I think it teaches you to appreciate everybody's role in the building. Whether you're the head coach, you're the janitor, you're the equipment manager, the trainer, everyone's role in the organization is very important. And everyone wants to be appreciated. And, those types of roles, they don't get all the publicity that I'm getting now, but they're just as valuable. And so that's probably the biggest thing that I learned from that experience.
Let's look at your interaction with the players. Brent was always such a fiery guy. Is that necessary? Will you feel like you need to do a little bit of that for him?
Not necessarily. I think all our guys are highly self-motivated players, and everyone has their way of reaching guys and motivating, whether it's out of love or fear, that sort of deal. I have my ways of connecting and just be myself.
Yeah, if you change, you're not genuine about it, right?
So no.
So you won't need a get back guy?
No. So not to say I won't get out on the field, but so.
Sorry if you've been asked this already, but what do you think about this Weslichick nickname thrown around a bunch?
Oh, so man, I have such great respect for Coach Belichick and all that he's accomplished, and hopefully one day I can live up to that nickname. But just to even be mentioned in that same breath is truly an honor. So,
Who first called you that? Where'd that come from?
I'm pretty sure it was Ron Holland at Mississippi State, who's now with the New York Giants as Joe's right-hand man up there.
Did you yell that on a practice field one day, or just in the office?
Around the office.
Okay.
So.
What'd you think when you first heard that?
I thought, hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
It was like four Super Bowls before, I guess less then. I don't know.
I don't know.
You probably know. You're the one with the photograph.
He's got 8, right?
Yeah,
Six as a head coach, 2
Lost
as an
count.
assistant. Lost a couple.
Dabo said that Brent was trying to take you to Norman. What position were y'all talking about there?
I mean, it wasn't the defensive coordinator and linebackers job at Clemson. So.
Gotcha.
What do you remember, it's almost exactly 10 years ago, think you were GA at the time when West Virginia put 70 on Clemson. So what do you remember about that game?
I've tried to bury that game as far from my memory as possible. But football is like life. Obviously, the best teaching moments are when things go wrong. And just so much to learn from that game, and just, whether it was preparation leading up to the game or maybe how we did things defensively. But just a great learning experience for some ways to do things different.
Do you feel like Clemson is, because I think a lot of Clemson fans see that game as the game that obviously got Brent hired. Do you think Clemson's on this trajectory that they're on without that loss?
I mean, we obviously were recruiting well, starting the foundation with Coach Swinney, and had great players coming into the program. I'm trying to think who we were recruiting at the time, but Clemson's about a program, not necessarily a defense. It's about Coach Swinney's vision, and then everyone in the building, player-wise, going and executing that vision. So it's more than a coach, more than a scheme. It's a vision and buy-in from our players. This game's all about players. Like any other business in life, you're going to win with the people. And it's about the players and Coach Swinney's vision.
What about when you were interim coach for that Peach Bowl against LSU? Was that kind of a baptism by fire for you?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I think they had some great players on that team. Their whole defense, probably first or second round draft picks. Landry, Odell Beckham, Jeremy Hill. They had a tremendous roster, but that was so much fun. Probably the first time where I felt like, hey, I can go do this at a high level, and just having the guys buy in during that time was an unbelievable experience. One that I'll never forget. I got Catanzaro's kick on my wall. That's how special it is.
Not Noob's catch, just the kick?
Yeah, just the kick.
I know you said that you wanted to put roots down here, but the draw of the NFL, how strong has that been, and how have you kind of avoided it?
I mean, I'm a small town guy, so this is like paradise to me. The lakes, the mountains, big time college football, it doesn't get any better than that to me.
But Dad would say you've had job offers from the NFL. Were they not quite tempting enough?
I'm here, right? but yeah.
Just 2-3 more for Wes.
Coach, do you feel like you're kind of in the middle of a feel-good story, an underdog story, considering where you came from?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is for sure a dream job, but I think this program from Coach Swinney on down has been built with guys that have had chips on their shoulder and maybe overlooked or whatever. Somebody's had to take a risk on that. So, that's kind of how I see Clemson being built along the way. A lot of guys, but a lot to prove.
Dabo mentioned you sort of being able to see a player formation, just break things down immediately, know what everybody, what defense is supposed to be running, where people are supposed to be. Is that just formed over your years of coaching, or is your mind just always going to work like that?
Yeah, just a lot of hard work over the years, and just studying the game, visiting with staffs around the country, and always talking ball, finding out ways how to do things better, that sort of deal. So just a lot of preparation, time over the years, and learning from some of the greatest minds in the game.
You already talked about this in decline, but just your relationship with Coach Conn since he's been here, how much have you interacted, and what your rapport is like with him?
Yeah, there's nobody better than Coach Conn. Just an unbelievable man, great leader of men, has done that at a high level for a long time. Just he's like one of my best friends here, and just a lot of respect for him and his wife Haley and his two sons. So I mean, we get along great. Both unselfish, no egos. So we're going to do what's best for this program and for Coach Swinney.
Take one final one if anybody has one.
You gonna be okay with all this? Us bugging you with dumb questions?
So yeah, it's part of it. I signed up for it, so for sure.
You gonna be on time on Mondays?
That I will.
Venables was a little.
I'm a really structured mind.
You got over here much
I'm
quicker than
down
Coach V did.
to a schedule for sure.